So this video we're going to show you how to fit some of the Osram LED combined fog and daytime running lights into a Range Rover Sport 2010 on, so 2010 to 13. So these are the lights you get, and they've got a the sort of area you can see here, this sort of C shape here, that lights up really bright with a daytime running light, and you've also got a fog light on the inside. Now these replace the standard fog lights. Have you got one of those fog lights there, Tom? I can show them the comparison. But what we've done here is we've got all the kit, we've worked out how to wire it into a Range Rover Sport, and we'll go through that. So if we just show you the standard fog light, so that's the standard fog light there, the standard Valeo type Land Rover fog light, and this one is mechanically on the outside at least the same, so there's no cutting or drilling. It literally pops in and replaces what was just a standard halogen H11 type fog light with this combined DRL. So that means you can get the DRL functionality without having to cut your bumper or do anything like that. Right, so this is what you get in the kit. Okay, so I'll run through this quickly. Obviously it all comes in this box, and you get a sort of generic manual which is how to fit them to any car, but there are some specific things on a Range Rover Sport and where to fit it. So we've produced our own colour instructions. We'll put those on the website. You might better read it off the screen there if you freeze it, but we show you exactly which pin to connect it and how to connect everything up. One point to note is the fog lights are handed, so when you install them there is a little L at the top that's going to be impossible to see on the video. Oh no, we can just catch it there. And then obviously this one has a right on the top, if I get that right. So make sure you get those in the right way. You obviously get a control module, and the control module turns off the DRLs when you put your headlights on, or your side lights. Basically coming out the bottom of the control unit you've got your connectors, and these plug into the fog lights. Now they are sort of you've got one male and one female on this end, and one of your fog lights is male and one is female, because it does. One of the functions that these lights come with is when you turn, the DRL comes on at night to give you extra illumination as you turn into your driveway, for example. So it is important which wire you connect, which is why they've made them different, so you can only connect the left to the left and the right to the right. Okay, now the fog light wiring, obviously these are replacing cars that are normally a normal fog light, so they've actually got the connector here, and that just plugs straight into the existing fog light connector on your car loom. Okay, so that emulates a H11 bulb, and they do actually give you, because obviously you've got two fog lights, they give you a little blank just to cover over the unused fog connector on the opposite side of the car. Okay, so that's what that is. The slightly more complicated things are all these individual wires. Okay, now the red wire is a battery positive, which comes with its own inline fuse. That's fairly self-explanatory. The black and brown wires are both earth. Again, they're fairly self-explanatory. And then you've got these remaining four wires here, the white, the green, the blue and the grey, two of which are indicators, so that we'll link those to the cornering lights on the Range Rover. So this is the lights on the Range Rover that come on as you corner. So the DRLs will work in conjunction with those, and they're actually quite effective because they're quite low. So as you turn into your driveway, they do give a good light. Then obviously you've got a connection onto the headlight or side light, so it knows when you've got your lights on to turn off the DRLs. And one for ignition, so when your ignition's on, the DRLs come on. So hopefully that's given you a super quick overview, but as I say, we've got all the wiring and which pin they go on this colour printout that we'll include with the lights. Now, in terms of installation, Tom, can I pass the camera to you? Okay, so if I just talk you through quickly, we're not going to do all the installation on the video today, but what I'm going to do is show you some of the points where we've worked out we're going to install it before we install it. Now, we're going to install the unit inside this aperture on the inner wing here. It does fit in there quite nicely, okay? And you have got routing to route the wires to very close places that are quite convenient. So if you get it right, you can see that that module will fit inside there, okay? And let me just leave those there. Right, the black and the brown wires, we fitted these fork connectors. They don't come with those, and we're going to go on to one of these. So yeah, they come pre-fitted with these fork terminals, so we're going to connect those onto here. You could do one onto each or both onto one as you see fit. Right, the main fused positive, okay, bear in mind this takes a fairly low current because it's LED wires, so you'll notice the wire's not as thick as you might expect, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to route it through the gap here, okay, and then onto the positive terminal here, okay? So that's those two wires. Right, oops, right. So let me keep going through. So your two fog light wires, obviously one of them is quite close. It's just in the bumper down here, and you can see if I root my hand up there, it's quite easy to connect that up through. And likewise the other one. Now you can run the cable. We've taken the headlights and the grille out, which is very easy to do. We'll post the video of how to do that. That's literally a 5-minute job. So the other wire you can run down here, and again you can just bring that straight up. There's plenty of room to connect into that. Right, so that leaves these remaining 4 wires which need a little more explanation. So if I just grab the wiring diagram, okay, and I'll read it myself, so you can see the way we've done it here. So the blue wire in the kit connects to pin 14 on the left hand headlight, okay? So what we've done is, if you look at the headlight, okay, this picture here, if I put the two next to each other, you can see how I've done it. So this set shape at the bottom, okay, so obviously these bottom row would be pin 14, 15 and 16. So we're looking for pin, if I read across on the diagram, the blue wire goes on pin 14, which is this wire here, okay. Now likewise, if we look down on here, the white wire goes to pin 2 on the left hand headlight, okay, which is obviously the second pin at the top, which is this black and red wire here, which goes into the middle connector there on the top row, okay. See the red one there with a little black stripe in it, okay. And then the grey wire on this kit here, so this grey wire here connects into pin 4 on the left hand headlight. Okay, so again we'll go through this. So looking at it the same way as the diagram, we're going to be pin 4 down here, which is this red wire here, okay, and you can actually see where we've connected onto those, okay. And then the final one, if I remember which ones we've done the grey, the green, the white. Which one is it, Tom?
Green.
Green we haven't done, have we? Right. Yeah, and only one of them needs to go over to the other one. So this is pin 4 on the right hand, okay? So, and that's picking up on the cornering light. So let me just explain what we've got here. So there's two options here. I've said that for the cornering lights, you can connect them onto the cornering light function on the headlight, which is pin 4 on the left and right headlights. And they're red wires. But you could, if you haven't got cornering lights on your car, it was an option, and if you haven't got any wire on pin 4, you could use pin 3, which is the indicator wire, but it won't give you as good a functionality, because when you put your hazards on you'll have flashing DRLs. So we recommend you use the cornering light if you can. Right, I'm going to stop the explanation of the wiring there, and what we'll do is we'll just show you one wire connection and then we'll install it and come back. So we'll give you an example connection. Now obviously we've got to connect this green wire into this wire here. Now we've obviously cut this wire. Now depending on your ability, time, equipment constraints, you might decide to strip this back, solder this. Tom was also suggesting you can actually unpin this connector, you can release the pin, extract the pin out, put some heat shrink over it, solder it, and then put the pin back in. So there are different options depending on the time you've got available. But we're going to show you what comes with the kit, which is a perfectly adequate solution. Okay, so these are really nice little connectors, and you've got two sections in this connector. Now, one of them is blind, i.e. it's a dead end, and when you insert the wire in, you can see it comes up into that little window there, okay? And you've got a double blade here, and what we're going to do is we're going to hook this around the wire, now, okay, and pass it through and make sure it's coming through the hole. So if you look from this end, Tom, you can see we've got both in there. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, and then what we do is, now you've got two ways of doing this. You can either flip this over or you can crimp that down. I'm going to crimp that down. Do you think that's the best way, Tom?
I would.
Crimp that down before you put the top over. So just be careful you don't grab any of the other wires as you're going in. And we're just going to squash this down onto... Okay, so you can see there I've pushed that little gate down, and that's now cut through this wire and effectively tapped into it, and it's also gripped the green wire, forming a connection between the red and the green. And then we can fold that over and it should click shut if we've got it. I've got it right. Okay, there we go. I think we've used this one a couple of times, but that'll clip shut. Let me just see here, it's fighting me a little bit. Okay, there we go. So that should clip shut and stay there, and that forms a perfectly adequate solution, okay, in terms of connecting. So good luck with connecting all that. We're going to come back, we're going to install all this now, and then we'll come back when we've got it installed and show you how it looks and works on the vehicle. So Tom has completed the installation of the Osram DRL Fogs in our Range Rover Sport 2010. I'll just run through some of the things to show you. So we've got the module fully installed and hidden inside the inner wing here. All the connections are made. Tom's left one out here so I can just show you how that goes in. So Tom, if you want to grab the camera there. So yeah, one thing we wanted to show you was this is the fog lamp unit, and on the top, if I just rest that forward there, you can see there is an adjuster here to adjust the angle of the whole light assembly, particularly the fog actually. Now you can swap these round, this bracket, you can swap them round. We've put it at the top so it's quite easy to adjust by just popping the headlight out. But yeah, with that ready to go now, have you got your little torch, Tom? I'll just show you how these screw in. So we've got 3 screws. I'm just going to screw this in to show you. Okay, make sure we've got that in properly. I got that in correctly. That's it there, okay. It's a bit tricky to see on the video. Oh no, that's it, there we go. Get the first one in and we'll be in a better shape then. Okay, that's the first one in. So there's 3 of these screws, aren't they? Yep. So we've got 1 inbound and then 2 outbound. Don't drop it now, Simon. Oh, I got that. There we go, we got him. He's bit. Okay, and then the last one. Is the last one? Oh no, sorry, I was wrong. It's 2 inbound and 1 outbound. Sorry, all you can see is my hand at the moment. No, I still haven't got it. Go another. Just shine the torch again, Tom. Let me have another go at getting that. That's it. There we go. Right, so we're putting this in our car's fitted with an autobiography front bumper, but these will fit any Range Rover Sport 2010 on front bumper, be it the standard front bumper or the autobiography bumper. Okay, now we've just got to finish refitting the fog lamp bezel, which is held in with these clips. The little point at the top there goes at the top. clip those in. Oh, get it right. Okay, right. So that's that installation finished now. So what we'll do now is we'll give you a demo of the functionality. Do you want to just turn the lights down in the workshop, please, Tom? Okay, so if you want to start by just turning the ignition on, Tom, the DRLs should come on then with the ignition. Obviously it's hard to see on the video how bright they are, but believe me, they're full bright DRLs, LED DRLs. And then if you want to turn the headlights on, Tom, so that's the side light, that's the headlights on. The DRLs go out, obviously they will blind people at night. Do you want to show the cornering, Tom? So if you put the indicator on, so there we go, you see how the DRL comes on that side, and then if you do the other side, Tom, yeah, so that gives you a lot more light on the ground as you're cornering. So that's linked obviously to this cornering light in the headlight here. So that's that. What else have we got? Fog lights. Okay, can you put the fog lights on, Tom? So yeah, the fog lights, it's a different function to the DRL, but as you can see there, the fog lights come on and they're aimed low, they're really quite bright. So that's the 3-in-1 kit. So you've obviously got the cornering lights, the daytime running lights and the fog lights all in one kit there. Good luck with that installation.